All right, good evening, everyone. We're going to do a short video on how to create a quiz in Canvas. This applies to exams as well. So you can either create a quiz or exam, and Canvas refers to both as quizzes. So you can follow the same process to develop either or. So let's get into it. So again, we're going to be looking at our sandbox number 2 down here. And we're going to go to our quizzes section. And as you can tell, we have no quizzes set up yet. So what we're going to do is hit the yellow action button and create a quiz. And we can go ahead and call it quiz number 1. Again, you can call this whatever you want. Chapter 1 quiz, module 1 quiz, chapters quiz, whatever it is, but as long as you just give it a name that is easily identifiable. Down here in the text, you can provide any kind of information you want. For instance, you can just have it cover chapter 1 and 2, whatever it may be, certain topics, whatever you see fit. In the details section, you can go down and you will be able to do different types of quizzes: practice, graded survey, ungraded survey. But for most folks, we're probably doing graded quiz. Assignment grouping, how you want to this grouped inside of your grade book. We'll leave it right here. We can change that later on. We don't have a grouping set up for quizzes. We can go in and do that in a bit. Time limit, shuffle answers. Both of these are up to you, but they are what they are. Shuffle answers means that you can put a set of answers in and it will shuffle it each time, so that whenever a student takes it, if you provide them more than one chance, they may get the same question, but the answers will be in a different order. Time limit. Again, this is what it is: 15 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever you give it. Exams could be as long as you want. We will also do, if you want, allow multiple attempts. So if you want to give them multiple chances to take the same quiz, you can either keep the highest score, the latest score, so which means their latest attempt, or their average score. And then if you want to provide them multiple attempts, how many attempts do you want to give them? 5, 10, whichever works best for you. So, but that is a way to give them multiple chances to take the same quiz. And if you have a large question pool, you can give them multiple attempts, and over time they would get different quizzes, so give them a better opportunity to go over the text more, to take different questions, encourage them to go out and read more. We'll leave those unchecked for right now, but those are what those do for you. This is how you would let your students see the answers after they're done. So you can either show correct answers on certain days, hide correct answers after certain days. If you want to uncheck these boxes, you can. Well, they'll see what's incorrect. Show one question at a time. So if you want to not let them see all questions at once, you can just check this box. If you want to uncheck it, that'll show them all questions at once. So if you have a 10-question quiz, all 10 questions will show up at once, and they can answer them in any order they want. But if you check this box and check this box, once they answer a question and move on, they cannot go back. If you uncheck it, they can go back and change their answers if they want to. Access codes, filter IP addresses, those are a little more advanced settings, but if you want to give them an access code to take it, you can give an access code, and they would have to input that in before they take the exam. By default, it's always assigned to everyone. If you want to assign it to just specific individuals or specific groups of students, you can. Available from, available until, and due dates. These are if you want to provide dates where it opens and closes and it is due by. You would put these dates in here. Typically these dates are the same, the due date and the until date. They don't have to be, but usually they are. If you want to add specific students, you can do just these, assign to. Usually when you have extensions, or if you have accommodations, you would set those up down here for specific students, but there are multiple ways to do that. But most often you will assign to everybody and give them specific dates, and once you're done, you hit save. However, what we need to do now is add questions. So if you don't have question banks from your publisher, you'd have to create your own questions. we'll look at that a little later on. But to create questions, you would hit this button, question groups. If you have a question bank that you're already looking for, you can use this to search for certain questions. But we'll look at creating questions in a separate video. But for now, this is how you create an exam or a quiz. Again, it could be an exam as well. You can call this exam 1. And it would be the same thing. You may change the time limit, but the setup is exactly the same for exams and quizzes. And when you're done, we hit save and publish. And you see that there are no points because we haven't added any questions yet. It would go into discussions, and we can change that in a bit. Shuffle answers no. So this kind of outlines all the different settings you established when you built your first quiz. And we'll go back a little later on. We'll look at establishing or building quiz banks through either developing your own questions and or pulling in from publisher test banks. So again, quick and easy video on how to build a quiz, how to build an exam, and we'll continue on in a bit on how to bring in your own questions or how to bring in publishers test banks to make it a bit easier to get started. So other than that, have a great night, and as always, if there's any comments or concerns, please leave them down below or shoot me an email. Appreciate it. Have a great night, and goodbye.